We begin this story with a very important envelope being delivered to an officer to transport it to a safe location. The officer leaves the embassy on his motorcycle and speeds through the city. Everything seems fine until a car appears out of nowhere and causes an accident. A few minutes later, the officer is in an ambulance where he is being treated for his injuries. In the next scene, we meet Phoebus, the leader of a group of mercenaries. He meets with his trusted men, Walsey and Esmer, to tell them they have work to do. Your client wants you to eliminate 5 people, and you have a limited time to do it. So each of you will lead a team to ensure the success of the job. We move from scenes with accidents and weapons to a slightly more innocent one. He is Serge, a government official who is currently arguing with his wife Mia about the topic of discussion, their daughter Alice, who refuses to obey her and spends all day in her alternate world. She doesn't do her homework and has gotten into trouble at school. For Serge, Alice is an enigma. She's a teenager, and who knows what's going through their heads at that age with TikTok and millennials. He has no idea what to do, so he withdraws and shortly after receives a call from his doctor. At first, Serge thinks he might be sick, but Dr. Ruma assures him that something stranger happened. He just attended to an embassy officer who was in an accident. Among his belongings was an open envelope and inside a sheet of paper with 5 names. The strange thing is that Serge's name appears among them, and that's why he wanted to call him. He found it curious. Serge tells him not to worry, maybe it's a promotion list, and he gets excited thinking that maybe he won something. Meanwhile, Alice is in the garden when she hears a metallic noise coming from the shed. When she approaches, she can see the gardener sharpening his knives by hand, and then he takes off his shirt, revealing scars on his back. Completely impressed, Alice takes out her phone and starts recording. Suddenly, someone appears behind her and says she shouldn't do that. It's Leo, the gardener. Alice doesn't know whether to be scared and run or ask him how he did it, but Leo is reserved and just asks her to leave. Back with Ruma, our mercenaries have captured him and threaten to kill him if he doesn't reveal what he did with the list. Romo gives them the envelope and admits he warned Sergio about his name. After silently killing Ruma, Phoebus orders that Serge be the first target. They can't risk him asking for help or informing someone. Quickly, 2 boats appear at Serge's villa with dozens of men, all of whom have come to eliminate him. The maid and Ollie are the first to be taken out of the equation with tranquilizer dots. Serge, who was taking a bath, hears his daughter scream and comes out to check. When he encounters a mercenary, he defends himself, but seeing there are many, he flees through the garden, gets hit by a dart in the back upon arrival, and falls at the door. To the mercenaries' surprise, Alien drags Serge's body into the shed. They can't see who, but it's clear he's not alone there. Slowly and precisely, they enter the shed, where they encounter Leo, who eliminates them one by one. The rest secure the house and have Ren's family, but Serge and the gardener disappear. Phoebus orders them to hold their position. They will head there immediately. He believes that Serge might have alerted the authorities, and they need to resolve this before it comes to light. On the other hand, Serge is with Leo in an underground room that he built without anyone noticing. There he injects him with adrenaline to wake him up and ask him what the heck is going on and why a group of mercenaries arrived at his villa and has his family kidnapped. Serge tells him that he doesn't know why. The only thing that happened today was the call from his doctor. So he checks his phone and goes over the list. Upon seeing the names and thinking for a few seconds, he realizes that they are all candidates to replace the current Minister of State, so it is surely a mission to kill them. Serge tells Leo that there were 5 names on the list, and he was last, so others might be in danger and they must alert the authorities. After gathering everything they can use as a weapon from Leo's shed, they exit through a secret passage he dug on the other side of the garden. The first of the bad guys to fall is one that Leo caught stepping on his roses. He might be an extraordinary fighter, but he's still the gardener, and using a wire they manage to take out another one. A few minutes later, Esmer realizes that one of the boats has been stolen and quickly moves away. Convinced Serge escaped, he tells Phoebus, who sends most of his men to pursue them. Luckily for Serge, Leo's distraction worked. They remain in the villa and have entered the house, where they find Serge's baby hidden in a vent. The baby is peacefully asleep. However, while Serge tries to lure him, 2 mercenaries reach him and point their weapons at him. At that moment, Leo appears and attacks them from behind. Esmer, who tries to contact his men, becomes impatient when he hears nothing, so he starts to walk around the house with a weapon in hand. Shortly after, he reaches the baby's room where a fight is taking place. He intervenes to go for Serge, but the baby does his part and vomits on his face. They quickly escape and Leo takes them to the pantry, although Serge tells him that's a terrible idea. They'll surely be killed. But Leo has his secrets and reveals a hidden tunnel, guiding them to a safe exit that the mercenaries have no idea about. Is Serge curious about how he knows about these secret tunnels and why he knows the house so well if he's never been inside? It is here when Leo confesses that he grew up in his house. His father lost it a few years ago when the bank assigned it to Serge to move in with his family. The team that went after the boat returns empty-handed. The man at the wheel was dead and tied to the accelerator. Whoever did it is still in the house. Esmer, who managed to survive the knife in his back, returns to tell him about the gardener with fighting skills he encountered. Phoebus orders a complete search of the house while our protagonists hide underground. Night falls, Alice and Mia have woken up, and Esmer extracts some information about her supposed gardener. Using his name, he finds a complete file, revealing that he is not an ordinary man. Much less a licensed gardener, he is a former Special Forces operative who returned home after suffering years of torture. One of the men appears and tells him they found a secret tunnel in the pantry. Quasi takes a couple of men and enters the tunnel. While they check the place, they move some cans and this reveals to Leo that someone is approaching. So he turns off all the lights and tells Serge to hide with the baby while he deals with the intruder. During their confrontation, Quasi has the upper hand, so Serge tries to help our hero, but accidentally shoots a dart at Leo. Before the tranquilizer takes effect, he uses the last of his strength and stabs Quasi in the abdomen. Then Serge carries him back to the shelter to regain his strength. There, Leo injects himself with a syringe of adrenaline to counteract the tranquilizer. Quasi escapes the tunnel and warns his companions that the man is no gardener. He killed all his men and escaped by a miracle. In the forest, Leo hides with Serge and the baby. They're curious. Serge asks about his past and who he really is. Leo admits his father was a Nazi general known for his cruelty. When he killed his mother in a fit of rage, he fled and joined the rival army, where he focused on learning combat no matter what might happen to him. He had sworn never to be a victim again. When his father died, everything he had experienced seemed in vain. He never had the chance to show himself as someone strong and unwilling to tolerate his abuses. This moment of reflection is interrupted by Phoebus. But Leo keeps Serge calm until a stolen radio goes off and Phoebus threatens to kill his family in 15 minutes if he doesn't show up. To prove he's serious, Phoebus executes the cleaning lady, someone who was very kind to Leo, and this hasn't gone down well with him. While Leo thinks about what to do, Phoebus keeps bothering him over the radio, saying he has his file and knows what happened to his mother, mocking that he won't save this family either. It's better to hand over Serge, and he'll give him a juicy compensation in return. Leo takes the baby and looks for a place to hide her, but at that moment he is surprised by Esmer and the fight resumes. Being with the baby, there's not much Leo can do to defend himself, so he ends up in a difficult situation until Zerger appears from behind and together they get rid of the mercenary. With Esmer dead, Phoebus doesn't have many men left. It's time to strike back and reclaim the family. In a one-on-one fight where Phoebus and Leo hit each other hard. The fight drags on and we can even see some of those moves that made the protagonist famous, who is about to defeat Phoebus when he pulls a gun from his pocket and points it at Leo. He has decided that his life is worth more than honor, so he will kill them all and go collect his payment. Just before he kills Leo, Quasi shoots his boss, ending the threat and allowing Leo to escape alive. When he asks him why he did it, Quasi tells him that he might not remember him, but Leo trained him more than 15 years ago. The skills and techniques he learned saved his life. He always swore that one day he would return the favor. It was in that tunnel that he realized who his former army master was fighting. With the arrival of the sun, Serge and his family are safe. As a token of gratitude,
Serge gives him the house so he can live his life in peace. If he can endure all the horrors, of course. Leo bids them farewell and goes back inside. Suddenly, he realizes Phoebus's body is missing, so he takes a motorcycle and rushes to save his family. Phoebus is chasing the family. Luckily, by taking a shortcut through the forest, Leo managed to arrive on time. And the family can continue their journey. What did you expect? It's Jean-Claude Van Damme. We couldn't leave without showing you his signature move. And that's how this blockbuster ends. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and thanks for watching.